Hi everyone, and welcome once again to Ruby's Classic Cooking. And today I'm making a fresh cherry crisp. Now this recipe only has 6 or 7 ingredients in it, so it should go really quickly. Now, first of all, you need 4 cups of pitted pie cherries. Sour cherries, which are pie cherries, which taste absolutely delicious, I can tell you. They may look a little brown because once they've oxidized a little bit after you have them exposed to the air, and by the time you've pitted them and all that kind of good stuff, that's what they taste is amazing. So to these I'm going to be adding 4 tablespoons or 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. That's Canadian all-purpose flour. In the UK or in the United States, that would be strong flour or bread flour. I'm also going to add 1.5 cups of sugar. Now, this is like caster sugar in the UK. If you want this dessert to be a little sweeter, add a little more sugar. And if you want it to be more tart, then use less sugar. Depends on your taste. If your taste is for a super sweet dessert, then add another couple of tablespoons of sugar. And if your taste is for a more tart dessert, then add maybe closer to 1 cup of sugar. So right now I'm going to put in 1.5 cups of sugar, which is kind of right in the middle. This is a 1/2 cup measuring cup, so I'll be adding 3 of them, because 3 1/2 equals 1.5. See, there I go using my math again. Alright, now the ingredients go in here, and you stir these together. Really easy peasy here. The worst part about this dessert is that I had to pit all of these cherries. You want to make sure you don't leave any pits in, because breaking a filling on a cherry pit in a dessert is very expensive. Now I'm just combining these ingredients together. This is a 9 by 13 pan, and worry not, metric people, because when I do my recipe up in the description box down below, I will have all the metric measurements for this pan. There we go. And this cherry mixture just gets poured right straight into my 9 by 13 pan. There we go. I'm going to spread my cherries out evenly, of course, so that each slice is going to get a nice serving of cherries. Yum. Maybe not as pretty bright red as they would be if you used canned cherries, but you know what, or if you used a can of cherry pie filling, but you know what? These have way more flavor than that. Alright, that's step 1, and now we're on to step 2. In this bowl, I have 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. That's Canadian all-purpose flour, so that would be strong flour or bread flour in the US or the UK. And on this side, I have 1 cup of rolled oats. Good old-fashioned rolled oats. And to that, I'm going to be adding 1 cup of brown sugar. Now I have my flour, my oats, and my sugar, my brown sugar in here, and I'm going to stir these together. Combine, it says, which means you don't want any lumps of brown sugar, and you don't want any lumps of flour. You want everything to combine together and look like one homogeneous mixture in here. Now we have our brown sugar, our flour, and our oats all combined. See what that looks like? And now we're going to add the final ingredient, which is 1 cup of butter. Now you can use 1/2 cup of butter and 1/2 cup of shortening if you'd like, or all butter. Today I don't have any shortening to my house, and now that shortening is as expensive as butter, may as well use all butter, right? So now this goes in here, and don't worry, I measured this before I just dumped it in here. This is a cup of butter. This might take me a while because it's sort of softened from the fridge. And once my butter is all cut into my thing, right now I'm using a pastry blender to blend my butter in here, because that's the most efficient way of doing it, unless of course you want to use your mixer. If you have a stand mixer with a nice sturdy paddle, you could use that for it. Of course, I'd cut my butter into more than one big lump if I was doing that. Make life easier for your mixer and for you. Now I want all my butter to be combined with my dry mixture. And I don't want there to be any like bits of butter through here that are streaks of butter. I want it to be all combined. Now take as much time as you need to do this, whether you use an electric mixer or you use a pastry blender. All depends on you and how much time you want to give to this. Thing about it is you can hand this off to somebody else to help you, or you can take a break, give your arm a rest. Switch from your left hand to your right hand, whatever works for you. Yeah, got them all combined here now. And now, see my mixture's all nice and crumbly? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this by handfuls. If you don't like handling it with your bare hands, invest in some of those disposable plastic gloves that you can use and throw away afterwards. I don't really mind, I just wash my hands well before and after. Yes, make sure you have clean hands when you're doing this, by the way. And just sprinkle this over top of your cherry mixture. Then when you have this mixture all crumbled on top of here, it goes into your preheated 375 degree oven for 45 to 50 minutes. And then it comes out all beautifully delicious, a fresh cherry crisp, or in my case, frozen cherry crisp. Although if you got these cherries fresh off the tree, you wouldn't have to freeze them. You don't have to freeze them before you do this, you could just use fresh cherries, but frozen thawed out ones work too. Just one handful at a time, and evenly spread this all over the top of your filling. And it'll be nice and golden brown when it comes out of the oven. And serve it warm or cold. You can even add a little blob of whipped cream to this if you wanted to, or a scoop of vanilla ice cream, or even cherry ice cream because it's cherry flavored, because it's a cherry base. Or just eat it like it is, plain. However you like your dessert. Because you know what? It's your dessert. You're serving it. It's your preferences that are all important to this dish, this dessert. There you go. And now, all I have to do is pop this in my oven. And I'll be back in 45 to 50 minutes to show you what it looks like fresh and hot out of the oven. Here I am back again. It's been 45 minutes, and here is my cherry crisp, fresh and hot from the oven. I hope you enjoyed my video today. I hope you'll check out some of my other 150 odd videos I've got out there already. And like, subscribe, leave a comment below, give this recipe a try at home. And come on back and see me next time on Ruby's Classic Cooking. Bye for now.